Hello, today we are going to talk about belays. Here I'm going to show you the first way of using just your hands to get into the belay, where you make a cross, replace the right arm with your left, and bring the loop over to make the two loops. I like to think of belays as a figure 8 or infinity shapes, giving me two rings or two loops to play with. Can be helpful for side bends, for shoulder stretching, for leg lifts, some balancing postures as well. So try playing around with them. I also like to use them in my classes for core strengthening, for leg lifts, conditioning through the hip flexors. And here's one attempt at going into the belay with the ring of fire, making the loop on my right leg, using my right foot as the base, kicking the left leg back, holding on to the free side, falling to the back, taking the left leg over the cross. Sometimes pushing the loop away from me helps. Switching the legs and falling back again. In this entry, we can always think about falling back. Once both legs are pressed into the loops, you can bring them higher to the hip if you want to try going upside down in a straddle hang. Playing around with a toe catch. And then slipping down onto the knees for a knee hang. So belays are quite versatile in this manner. This round I'm trying to just kick over my left leg, balancing on my right armpit mostly. Then making a cross to get my right leg over the cross. Driving my toes from under. And then bringing the hammock over the cross with my right leg. We can also call this one a basket, where we have one loop for the legs and one for the hips and the lower back. Exits from belays require us to have a little bit of hip mobility, or we can also exit through the upper body if you don't want to use your hips or your legs. In this one, I used the left leg as my base, the right leg went from behind. Same idea, bringing the hammock over the cross with my right leg. One more entry through the right leg with the ring of fire, holding on to the left side. And notice how I use a hip key here, bringing my right hip over the left, using the hip key. Generally here the same arm enters the cross that corresponds to the leg which is in the ring of fire. And then I release the base leg from the hammock, bringing it towards the arm that passed through the cross. And then I bring the hammock over. And this brings us into a side plank belay, where we can try keeping the hips and shoulders in one line. And this next one, this entry is just with a cross again, around the foot this time. The knee presses over the cross. It doesn't matter which side of the hammock is in the front. So generally whichever line is in the front, that same leg goes under the loop. And then we can fall over to the front, create a kick in the air with a little pull through the arms, bringing us back into this knee hang belay. In this entry, I like to call it the calf lock, where the hammock locks against the calf. And again, you bring one leg over the cross and wind it underneath the loop, underneath the line, and bring that line over to the other side. It definitely helps here to have pulling strength and a sense of comfort and taking your own time as you enter and exit the posture.